Hello there. In this video we'll be looking at different features, keyboard shortcuts on Microsoft Word that can be used to support any Spld users or those with visual stress. The example today is going to be looking at ways in using Microsoft Word and Microsoft Word alone to support those with any difficulties with reading information or visually looking at any information. The users in this case will be for those carrying out research for an assignment, but this example can be used for those in education, work, etc. So it is quite today is a specific example, but it can be used in loads of different situations. Okay, so the first thing we'll have a look at is we'll open up some research information that potential students might be using. So I'll go into Google Chrome. Here we have some information that we would like to read. As you can see, as it is a PDF document, something that students or any Spld users or those with visual stress, the difficulties they might face are with sort of having to reread information and clearly reading information, obviously then leading to mistakes, any misinterpretation. As you can see, once there's any information on a PDF, it is difficult to manipulate, so you can't sort of highlight text, increase text size. You can zoom in, you can't increase text size, any spacing, so it is something difficult and something that is quite useful to use Microsoft Word to enable you to do. So what we'll do first is we'll select the text that we would like to copy into Microsoft Word. So this is the first paragraph we would like to read and sort of manipulate on Microsoft Word, so I'll select the first paragraph. One of the first keyboard shortcuts I'll be using is Control C. So if you press Control C, you'll copy all the text. Open up Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word onto a blank document, and now the second command we're using is Control V, which will paste all the documents, the text onto the document. As you can see now, the text is exactly the same as it was in the initial PDF, single spaced and all sort of compact and close together. Now what we'll have a look at is spacing. Spacing will allow users to sort of be able to see where a line starts and ends, and it just makes it that slightly easier to read. That way you're not having to reread information, you're not rereading information, missing a line, skipping words, etc. So it just makes it that slightly easier. Another keyboard shortcut we'll use now is Control A, so that will select all the text. To sort of ensure the spacing is changed, the first one we'll use is Control 1. Control 1 is single spacing. As you can see, as this already is single spaced, there's no changes done at all. The second keyboard shortcut we'll have a look at is Control 2. Control 2 is double spacing. Now you can see the lines have got double spacing in between them. Now it just makes it that slightly easier to see where a line starts, where it ends and begins. That way you're not having to reread and sort of skip a line or miss any words or lose your place, just making that slightly easier. The third shortcut we'll have a look at is 1.5 spacing. This is Control 5. As you can see, just makes it brings that slightly bit closer. So it's one of these things. It depends what works best for you, whatever you like. So it is something that you can sort of play about with and see what works for you. I personally prefer double spacing, so Control 2. So that just makes it that slightly easier to read for myself. Another feature on Microsoft Word, especially those with any visual issues or visual stress issues, is the ability to change the background colour, just to make it that bit more comforting on the eye. That way you can read the text for a lot longer without having to turn away or have a break due to any difficulties or having any migraines. So what you'll do is, if you just go on to Design, go on to Page Colour, and then you'll see a whole host of set colours that you can choose from. So for me, yellow works, so I'll go on to yellow. Obviously, if you're finding this color works for you, brilliant, you can use it. But what's great on Microsoft Word is you've got the ability to find a color that is sort of specific to your liking. So if yellow works for you, but it's not this shade, if you go on to more colors, you can select something either darker or just a little bit lighter. And over here you can see the current color and the new color. So select something that, for me, just a little bit lighter, or press OK. And there you go, it is something that is a lot more suited and more personal to me. The great thing about this is if you do print out any information, it's not going to print it out with the yellow background, so you're not using up any additional ink. But the sort of negative aspect is it is just limited to just this screen here. Everything else here, as you can tell, is still its normal set color. Another great thing, this can also be, you can use this color, this background to do, you can keep it when you're typing up any assignments, and that way you can work for a lot longer and it's a lot more comforting on your eye. Once again, just giving you that ability to work for with a lot more ease. So I mean, these are little features, little tips and tricks on Microsoft Word that hopefully it is something that you do use. I'll just upload this document. This document's got all the different keyboard shortcuts we used, and then obviously other features within Microsoft Word. You've got the increased text size, change text color, and change text font. So it is something, loads of different things within Microsoft Word that you can use.